It's very rare that someone says that they were born and raised in the same house for the majority of their life, but that's the gift that Pleasant Hill gave me. I grew up in the house that is still standing today with quite a few upgrades that as a kid was pretty boring, but now as an adult I look back and see it was the perfect place for imagination to run, freedom, engaging with the wilderness, and having family next door. Mom she loves hard, and it was always very evident. Any and everything that you wanted, she wanted to make sure that you had. But we also knew that there were certain standards that we needed to follow, and she made those very clear. My mother was born and raised in Paducah, Kentucky. She's the youngest of 3 children. Her family grew up in poverty, and her mother also had some mental health difficulties. As a result, the family did the best they could with what they had, and my uncle often tells the stories of survival, the simple things that would make them very happy. But at the age of 13, my grandmother reached her peak, and my mother was placed in foster care. So she moved to Cadiz, Kentucky, where she grew up in a foster home with many other siblings. She ended up adapting to her environment. She became very active in the community. She was active in sports. She played football, ran track, played basketball, was a cheerleader. She even won a state title for track. And eventually she graduated. While she was in high school, she met my father, who's her high school sweetheart, and became a licensed practical nurse. The two of them really worked together, and they've always been hard workers.
My husband's like, if it's your family, anybody that you need to try to help, we was always just helping people because, like I say, I was taken out of my home. I was a foster child, so I knew how it was to be without a home.
Our home on Pleasant Hill has become the place of rebirth, restarting, and giving people another opportunity to start afresh. And I think my mom, given her life experiences, knows what it's like to have nothing, and now is in the position to give much. So she is very generous.
My sister got off on alcohol and drugs, and she went to jail. And so she had 8 kids, and out of those 8 kids, I had Tasha, Rick, Annie, and Elizabeth. And the court system was going to put them in foster care, and I said, no, I don't want to. They were going to separate them. I said, I don't want them to be separated. I will take them so they can stay together. So then my niece had a daughter, and she said that she needed to get herself together. So I ended up taking her daughter. So there was 5 outside kids that I had. Me and my husband, Brenda, was taking care of. Besides, I had 2 kids of my own.
She's generally taken in people. So from an uncle to my biological grandmother to various family members, and of course I've moved home from time to time as well. It is the place where you can get grounded, you can connect to the earth, you can get a good home cooked meal, and then be reinforced to go back into the world.
Currently has 6 other people living underneath her home as of right now. My grandmother currently has Key, he's 21 years old, Makai, who's 14 years old, Zion, who's 12 years old, Jeremiah, who's 7 years old, and baby A, who is 5 years old, and along with their mother, which is Teria, and she's 30 years old.
First thing, I like going touring cows because it is fun. And yeah, that's fun. I get to hang out with my friends. I get to have a whole lot of stuff. And Cat's a nice woman.
My mom is loving. No matter what happens, she will love you. She may fuss, but her love is quite strong and evident, and most people admire to have somebody or are grateful to have someone who is by their side through thick and thin.